action. Take 2 or 3. This is the Nemo 2-person ultralight tent. The Hornet, the Nemo Hornet. Not to be confused with the E-Light tent with an E. I'm going to show you why this is up in a second here. What is its biggest advantage? This is its bag, and it easily fits in here. No footprint, nothing. It stakes and everything, they stuff right in this bag. I think it specs it out at like 12 inches long. There's a hammock gear stake bag. There's some tent stakes. That's its hugest advantage, that bag. It packs down super small. And it only weighs like, whatever, you can check the specs, 2.6 or something pounds. It's a 2-person tent. It's a breeze to set up. I like this one backbone going to the 2 poles in front. Very easy to set up. It has a lot of tie outs on it. You can come in and out either side. I make the point, if you have an expensive sleepy bag and you kind of get confused, like on one person has one door and your sleeping bag can be like opening the wrong way or something. But here you can go in either side of it. You can throw your gear down in a storm and throw it under one side and go in the other side, whatever. What is its problem? Well, I can say I've stayed one night in it. It's got a blemish. It's not big or anything, but that's how it came. And I don't know if I'm just being too particular. People can tell me, I don't know. It's definitely like some sort of a scuff or fabric issue, or it's hard to see because the sun's kind of starting to set beyond the Illinois river bluffs here. Throw the flash on, I don't know. I noticed it right away. So, and you're paying, this was $319 before tax on sale. Right now it's $429, year 2023. Its competitors, the Big Agnes Tiger Wall, the Tiger Wall Bikepack. Even though this isn't a Bikepack tent, technically it packs, I just call them backpack tents. Like, it should fit into your backpack. So its E-Light version is a couple $100 more and a little longer. But I don't know much about it besides their design is similar. Maybe the E-Light Hornet has a bigger door. I've tested the Dragonfly and Copper Spur. Both those tents have the 2 poles that come down on the back. This has the one. When I was setting those tents up, it just made sense to me. I felt like too many poles were flopping all over the place, and I felt like it just made sense to have one pole going up the middle. And this tent, just like any 4-position tent, you can pick it up like this and throw it over there and put it on the ground. The only difference is you have to stake some things out here to kind of get it to its final stages, which I stake everything out anyway. It's got some real nice sturdy little wires or whatever that kind of give it a shape. I love Nemo's adjustments. Nice and small and simple to adjust the cords. The Bikepack version from Big Agnes, the Tiger Wall, has a bigger, this is, I'm guessing, what makes it called the Hornet, this little plastic spreader bar. But the Big Agnes has a little bit bigger bar, which you can picture if it was raining or something. Maybe you have your tent open a little, it makes it easier. I don't know, maybe it gives you a little more vestibule space. You could check the specs. The Big Agnes Fly goes to the ground, which makes the Big Agnes a cooler tent inside, like temperature wise. If the cold wind's blowing this fabric, remember I tested the Dragonfly and the Copper Spur, which were similar. The Dragonfly came way up with the bathtub, the Copper Spur went way down with the Fly. The Nemo is a warmer tent if you're like winter camping. It got a little frosty on this thing, but you know, they're both different animals by a little bit. It's got a little thing that holds this. The Big Agnes I always talk about, You open the door and it's got a little tucker thing. I've heard people say they're pointless. I kind of like it. You just one-handed tuck the door in. The Big Agnes Tiger Wall has 2 zippers. Remember, you're looking at the lightest version of these tents, in my opinion, until you get into like places like Z-Packs that have Dyneema and stuff, tarp tents and there's other brands, tarp tent. But what I mean by that is there's only one zipper. So you zip this closed. Picture you're in here. That's your zipper. In my opinion, a lot of times I have 2 zippers right there. My head's here. If I have to reach outside the tent or hawk a loogie, you know, spit or blow my nose, I don't know what you're doing. But let's say it's northern Minnesota in summertime and full of mosquitoes, you could kind of just reach your hand out with the 2 zippers. Zip it that way, zip it that way. Not a deal breaker. Like I said, it is the lightest weight tent of this version. And it has a little bit stronger materials. Don't quote me, I believe the floor is a little thicker than the Big Agnes versions. I don't know that the Rainfly is, but you're getting, instead of sill nylon this time of year, you're getting a proprietary Osmo. They say it's kind of like a mixture of threads that supposedly hold less water. It doesn't sag as much as sill nylon. What I'm getting at is there's some advantages to this build here to the competitor. Possibly. Sill nylon's stronger. You dice it all up, supposedly. You can call the tent places. It's got a nice pocket here, a nice one here. The Big Agnes, some people like this, some don't. I've seen reviews where they didn't like how it had the huge pocket here. I like it. I think you got some wet snow pants or something, you just throw them in the pocket. But some people, especially people had dogs and stuff, they thought the pocket took up space where their dog was. Pretty easy for one person. I can't think of too many 2-person tents that are light enough for one person to carry in real-time backpacking for really walking all the time. I mean, I don't drive, I just walk and ride my bike. So whenever I go places, I'm bus to bus, plane to plane, sporting some stakes here, carbon fiber stakes on a plane, and some Z-Packs stakes here. That said, this guy did come with some sturdy run-of-the-mill stakes. I did get a look at the Big Agnes ones. They were some pretty nice stakes, and it came with a good amount of line for, I was impressed by that. Good amount of line for you know, making your extra guy outs and tie outs and whatever you're doing. This is, I think, to hold the door back. There's like a clip on the back of the door. I'm trying to give you guys everything about this. It just sets up in front here. This isn't really a buckle. You don't, so to speak, adjust it here. It looks like a buckle, like you pull it. You just set it up in the front and kind of yank it. It's brutally simple. The only thing simpler I can think of is like the tents. Mountain Hardware used to have a design called the high-low. Now Amazon sells it, maybe Hike Bike or something, where the poles are actually on the outside. So it has the 4-legged squatting walrus design, as people call it. The poles are on the outside and you just clip up the tent. I heard they're kind of monsters for condensation. I'd love to get my hands on one because I feel like the easier you got it, the better. And it only measures 16 inches long, whereas this measures 12. I think the Big Agnes measures 14. This is, in my opinion, the smallest, most portable tent, especially for 2 people. 2 pound, 1 ounce minimum trail weight. Fits in this little bag. Unfortunately, it arrived with this defect. I'm very thankful for places like I'm thankful for everybody that has this stuff, but REI has that 1-year policy. I was in Duluth a lot, helping with my dad and some things. And I just never got a chance to really set it up again or get back to the tent. Now we're in autumn in Bluff Country, Illinois, and I can finally, you know what I mean? I don't have to come back to a tent that arrived with a defect that was $300. REI will do business with me. I said mark it with some tape. So that's why I haven't really stayed in it much. I just wasn't gonna, these things are so fragile, you know, or, you know, my nephew gets in running around it with his friends or something. You don't want a $300-$400 tent just getting damaged. But I assume it's been well tested for rain and wind and everything works there. So I just have faith in the company there. They do answer the phone sometimes at Nemo. Pretty helpful people. Very nice people. Plenty of tie outs. That's good. We'll just see. We'll see what comes of this. Getting back marked and back to REI. Did you complain about that? I don't know, it's hard to see like this. It's brand new. It's supposed to be a brand new tent. I don't know what that is. I'm sure it would be fine, but I don't know if I'm overthinking things or what.